on Sid in the Morning is over, we're wrapping it up.
Wrap it up!
Wrap it up!
Wrap it up!
I don't like when people talk about me.
It's the Wrap It Up Podcast.
We are back, people.
We are black.
We are back. We are black.
Well, I'm black. I laid out yesterday.
I did too, actually. I caught some rays on Sunday.
So beautiful.
Beautiful.
What a
My
gorgeous
goodness.
weekend.
I can't even.
Summer, the best.
Oh, thank God. Thank God it's here.
Yay.
So it's beautiful out Monday. It was like 80 degrees. You can't beat it. So
I know.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So I was out on Friday. What the hell happened on Friday?
Friday, oh God, Meanie, I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
remember
all right. Last
Sunday.
week. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I can't.
Once
it's amazing.
once we
Good
leave,
thing I write all this stuff down because as soon as
it's
you leave
over.
the studio,
You
it's
wipe
like,
it out.
Poof.
Yeah.
Gone. I don't know. This because we're having fun. That's why.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, 4
We're tired,
hours,
and we're really
tired too. We don't have the brain capacity to remember stuff.
Yeah, I
at
think
that
it's
hour.
more that we're tired.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, we're gonna chalk it up to that. So,
So Monday, what did we start out with? Oh, the PGA tournament.
out in Long Island,
Long
out there,
Island,
Farmingdale,
Farmingdale, yes.
or not Ville. Okay,
Well, no, Farmingville is the place that has a lot of illegal immigrants standing on the corner waiting to do landscaping.
okay.
Farmingdale is a little bit nicer.
Yeah, I had been out there before, but Sid was out there for his Sunday show.
Yeah.
Looked like a good time. And that was Brooks Koepka who won. So we talked a little bit about that. We talked about the traffic that it was causing. Sid had a little bit of
Yeah.
snafu on the way home,
And
trying to
the
get back.
video of his girlfriend, she tried to give him a kiss.
Oh, yeah. We didn't get to talk about that on the air,
we
but
really
it was.
should have
Right?
talked about that.
Yeah.
And so basically, he turned his head, and then she turned away in a huff, and she was like, and she crossed her arms.
Mm-hmm. And this is all while the camera, they're like walking towards the camera. I was watching them like, geez.
So awkward.
She looks so awkward right now because she knows the camera is right in front of her and she can't get away from it.
I'm sorry, it does not look like he loves that woman.
No.
They need to break up.
He's a pretty like a straight shooter, like he's not no bullshit kind of guy,
Yeah.
you know. So I mean, maybe he was just like, don't show, I don't want this to be seen.
Maybe he feels funny about affection in public.
Maybe that may be it.
I don't like guys like that.
I don't know. His personality. If you watched anything or if you
No,
caught
I don't
anything,
know.
he's no baloney. It's straight. He's just
Oh,
like
but I like that. That's very Trump-esque.
it is
Straight shooter. Okay,
Yeah,
well, that's cool.
But it's almost to the point where it's like
Rude?
It's aggressive.
Okay.
So I mean, it didn't surprise me when that happened, but I felt terrible for her. She was like,
I
squirming to get away from the camera.
I didn't get that from that. So you felt terrible for her. I felt like she came across as a spoiled little brat. Like she didn't get her way, and she was just, her arms were crossed. Like, I don't know. It seemed like people on the sidelines wanted to high five and fist bump him. He was concentrating on that, and she just wanted attention. I don't know. That's what I got from her.
okay.
But-
Now I got, maybe it was just the short. I don't know how she was walking before that, but it just looked like she leaned in.
That's true,
to
yeah.
kiss him, and then
He was like, "Get
she
off."
was like, get off. And I've had that done to me before, where it's like, ooh, no, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's that rejection
awkward.
kills, and especially coming from your own boyfriend, like that's
Yeah.
got to be something that
He doesn't love you, honey.
doesn't rub them the right
Well,
way.
maybe if she rubbed him the right way, they wouldn't be happening.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Our intern is back
Yes, our intern John O'Halloran.
for round 2.
And then right away, Sydney sent him downstairs for cereal. He told him specifically to get Sugar Smacks.
Sugar Smacks.
But apparently there is no such cereal as Sugar Smacks. It is called Honey Smacks. So John is young. He didn't know that. So he came back with Apple Jacks, which is nothing like
nowhere
just
near
Honey
it, yeah.
Smacks.
It rhymes. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But so, strike one.
Yeah, but he should know better. This is his second time back. Come on, now I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
he's a good
a
kid.
good kid.
He's a mascot of his.
Yes, Xavier. He is the Musketeer, the Xavier Musketeer mascot. So if anybody out there watches Xavier games,
Yeah, that's him.
he is in that mascot. So yes, the cereal we talked about.
What else?
Koepka cereal. We had a lot. Rich Lowry on Monday as usual,
Rich
talking
Lowry.
Biden and Biden and who else? Bernie. That's right.
Biden.
Yeah.
Joe Tacopina was on, and then Lenny Dykstra. He was the main guest, and he was in studio for a half hour. Interesting guy.
Absolutely.
Met him by the door when I brought him in, and couldn't understand a word he was saying.
He was mumbling a little bit.
Yeah, he was maybe slurring a little bit.
Slur maybe be the word. Yeah.
So it was a good interview.
It
though.
was a good interview. Once he got on the air, he sounded fine.
Yes.
Somewhat coherent.
He is doubting Ron Darling's medical diagnosis, though, and he does think Ron should be fired because he said he's a liar And I'm guessing Lenny never lied about something. But,
Well, I mean, who knows? But
I don't know.
it's-
He really wants Ron to be fired.
Yeah, because I guess, and that's what I said too, is to you in the studio. I said, I believe, like, there's a lot of reason to believe Ron on the surface because he's a Yale graduate,
Yale graduate.
right? I mean,
that gives him the higher up right away.
Yeah, but we also know that white collar crime is a big thing in America. So,
Yeah.
you can't always trust the smartest. And
No, that's true. But why would you lie? The truth comes out.
Yeah.
Why lie? You know it's going to get out, and other teammates are going to either say yes he did or no he didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, other teammates came out in Lenny's support, and then the guy
that's interesting.
that Ron said. Lenny was hurling those comments at those racist comments.
He said it didn't happen, right?
They interviewed him. He says he either doesn't remember or it didn't happen. So who knows where Ron Darling got that story from? We also gave away tickets. A lot of tickets we can give away. So
a lot of tickets.
Tons of tickets. This is a boxing match. This guy GGG. Well, I could tell you, I have seen him. Yeah, I know you may not have. People may not, but he's worth. He's worth watching. Also, we found out that Lamar Odom has a memoir coming out, and he once passed a drug test using a fake penis.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, I did reach out to the publicist, so maybe we will be getting Lamar in studio.
That would be fun. Like Sid said, I think he's a New York kid. He grew up in New York, in Queens, I believe.
It'd be great.
And I was that whole thing where he almost died. It was pretty nuts. And then Bernie told us about the story about how he faked a urine test for life insurance.
And he said, "All right, well, you passed the urine test, and you're also pregnant." He had his wife pee in the cup.
Yeah, so that was funny.
Funny.
And we talked a little bit about the golf tournament that we have coming up, so stay tuned for that.
July 31st, people.
There you go. We'll be having people out there, so just stay tuned.
Yeah.
And Trump was going off on Iran and Pete Buttigieg on Sunday.
Mayor Pete. And Trump also went off on Chris Wallace and said he likes his father, Mike Wallace, better. He's been dead for a few years.
And then, that was Monday.
Tuesday.
Well, let's start off with Tuesday. At the end of the show on Tuesday, Sid, for some reason, took his shirt off in the studio.
Yeah, that was an interesting sight.
It is.
And he couldn't put it back on because the cuffs were too tight. So I had to go in there and undo them while he was on the air. And yeah.
See what our jobs entail, people?
What the heck?
But it's not that great. No, it was funny.
It was funny.
He's got the skin of a hot dog.
What was that?
It's like, I don't know. He's very tan.
Extremely. Oh, God. He's going to pay the price in about 10 years.
Yeah. So that was an interesting sight.
I keep trying to tell my daughter, Olivia, if she's 15, use sunscreen because in about 10 years, you're going to have wrinkles. You're going to have freckles. And she's like, I want freckles. Freckles look cute.
Yeah.
I don't care if I have wrinkles. I'm like, God, Olivia, she's so... Oh.
She's such a teen.
Yes.
Such a teen. Such a teenager. So on Tuesday, there was a big story out in your end of the woods, neck of the woods out there. Jaws and this great white shark. Great white?
Yeah, they found a great white shark in the Long Island Sound, which is my backyard, basically, and that's unheard of. There has never been a shark in the Long Island Sound.
They usually migrate to warmer waters, but
and they're usually on the south shore of Long Island, which is the Atlantic Ocean, not the Sound. I don't think there's ever been a shark in the Sound. And my kids, especially my little one, Mommy, you sure it's okay to swim here? And I'm always saying, Emma, there are no sharks here. I'm not even going to tell her that this was found. So
good.
Yes, there was a shark.
So when she gets eaten by, I'm kidding, Emma. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. That's no. So that was a big story on Tuesday, and we did. Sid did a great open to the show on Tuesday.
Yeah, that was awesome with the Jaws. And
yes, it was very. I could see him doing voiceover for movies and whatnot.
Yeah,
the way he did it.
The way he leads up to it, very dramatic.
Yeah, and it was just ironic that's coming up on Memorial Day weekend. Is Jaws, the original Jaws, was that Labor Day weekend? No, it was 4th of July. What am I talking about?
Was it?
Yeah, it was 4th of July. But still, yes. Memorial Day weekend.
44 years ago.
That's another thing that we said, or that was brought up, that it's 44 years old now. I mean,
God.
And it's still
crazy.
Running. It's
still, and then we had Collins. What was the scariest movie of all time? A lot of people said Jaws. Some people, I said The Shining. A lot of people said The Exorcist. I remember, you're probably too young for all these, but Carrie was with Sissy Spacek where they poured, I think, pig's blood on her and she was on stage. That was disgusting. I thought Friday the 13th and the Freddy Krueger movies and Halloween, those all scared the shit out of me when I was younger. So I'm not a big scary movie watcher. I don't like them. I don't want to scare myself. The world is scary enough. The news, you turn on the news, that's the scariest movie. It's just like, what the hell's going on?
There you go. Yep. You know, that's at the end of, right before Jeopardy every night, I catch the end of David Muir, and it's like, what the hell is going on in this? Like, it's
scary.
And the other thing that pisses me off too about WABC 7, the local channel 7 here, is that their promos for their broadcast is like a story from like out of town, and it's the worst story ever. It's like your local news
because they want to catch people.
I know.
People love to see misery and scary stuff, depressing. I don't know why.
To make themselves feel better, right? Just to not be like, oh, I don't have it that bad.
Maybe that's why. And they also like to watch the weather because people love talking about the weather.
True, because it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's always changing.
And it's just something to talk about. Like, what? I don't understand people, like, if you're in the elevator, it's hot outside, or it's raining out. Like, yes, it's weather.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It's been happening for millions of years.
What was that movie? I think Paul Rudd. Did you ever see Saving Sarah Silverman? Or I forgot.
Saving Silverman? That movie?
No, it was like Saving Sarah something where he goes, "Oh, the weather outside is weather."
Yeah.
Like it's just like, it's just weather.
That is it. We also made a big announcement on Tuesday.
Yes, we are having a golf
tournament.
Yes, golf.
It's apparently the biggest golf resort in the Northeast in New Jersey.
Crystal Springs.
Yes, that's it.
What is it?
Hamburg, New Jersey.
Joan Hamburg, New Jersey.
Yeah.
July 31st. So if you're interested, come down. Go to WABCRadio.com. We're being forced to go, so we'll be there.
We will be there. We're going to do the show live that morning from there, and then it's an all-day affair, it looks like.
Yay.
So, PLJ, our sister station, as we mentioned, is going off the air May 31st, and we're giving away T-shirts. That was something.
No, they're not even giving them away. They're selling them.
Oh, wait, we didn't give them away?
No.
It was just a promo to make people buy them, have people buy them?
We directed them to PLJ.com, so they'll because maybe they'll be worth something.
Who knows? I mean, it's got every logo ever on it.
Right,
so,
right,
I mean,
right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's.
I don't know. Sid said them going off the air is not sad.
No, he said 9/11 is sad. It's not even kind of sad, those guys going off the air.
Leave it to Sid to bring up 9/11. You're talking about your sister station going off the air after 48 years, and he's going to be like, that's so sad. 9/11's sad. I mean, he just, man.
I mean, it's been a staple in New York for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember growing up 95.5 BLJ.
See, I was a Z100 kid. I was always a Z100 kid. My daughters are Z100 kids, so we have friends on PLJ. I love them. But it's just sad because people are losing their jobs, and it's been a staple, like you said, whether you listen to it or not. It's just been a part of New York radio, and radio is changing.
Yeah, and also losing your job is one thing, but also being in the public sphere, and everyone knows you're losing your job. I guess you get some sympathy, but at the same time, the same people that'll give you sympathy won't help you, get another job. So it's an interesting.
That's what it is. I mean, it's a revolving door out there, though. People will get jobs and. People will lose jobs. People get jobs. It's sad, but it's just part of life.
You just survive. You see the homeless people out there. They do it somehow. They get by somehow.
So maybe it's not sad. Sid's right. just kidding. It's very sad.
Yeah. We have a lot of Caddyshack references because of the golf tournament we had coming up. I guess Rob Magnotti's going to be there hosting, doing some.
Yeah, we're not having too many people. I mean,
luminaries, yes.
Yeah, we had Bill O'Reilly was invited, so maybe he'll show up. But either way, it'll be there. We'll be there, and it'll just be fun. You hit the ball in the hole, and
that's it. Bernie brought up a funny story about Imus about how he had a charity golf outing, and he Imus was golfing, and there was a woman. I guess really, I mean, it didn't sound like she was in the way, but he hit her. It was like it hit her in the head with a golf
really
ball.
Hard.
That is something that you can't make up.
And he was only 3 feet away.
Yeah, he was close. I mean, so maybe we'll get Sid on the tee box, and
I could see Imus instead of saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry," be like, "You were in my way."
They're like, "What are you doing there?" Not my. So that was funny. So they reminisced about that. And
Bo Dietl was in. He was pissed off again.
Bo Dietl was in, and we had Ken Fisher from the Fisher Houses.
Oh, this guy's doing so much for the veterans. Yeah. And this week he opened 2 houses in the Bronx that are helping veterans and their families while they undergo treatment. So
because our veterans in this country, it was an issue during the campaign during 2016. It wasn't a big enough issue in my mind.
No,
they need to bring more attention to it. These people protect our country, and they're not getting the help they need. They need physically, mentally.
This country does not treat our veterans correctly.
Nope, they get walked all over because they I don't know.
I gotta say,
think they're stupid or whatever.
Donald Trump is brought a lot of attention to the veterans. I mean, he really did. He all about the veterans, which are very appreciated.
Because I think he understands. I mean, what they do. But I'm sure a lot of people understand what they do for our country. They just don't want to give them the time of day.
You got to respect these people because without them, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly. The draft. Think about that. If they weren't enlisting in the Army and the Navy and the Air Force and the Marines, we would be being called to action to defend our country.
It's very sad.
At least the men, I guess.
Remember that for this Memorial Day week.
Exactly. It is not just the kickoff to summer.
It's not just hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yeah, and wieners. It's
well, it is about wieners.
It's about wieners, sure.
Free wiener
and butts. Oh my God, you liked my tweet the other day.
Tweeted out.
And there's nothing more in this world that I love than beautiful weather and beautiful butts. There is just something in my body.
Every guy says that around this time of year. They're like, oh, I just love this type of weather. The girls take their clothes off.
Just butts. It's not even that. I saw what prompted me to do this. It was this girl wearing like a long dress thing, but it was pants. I don't know what the hell to call it. It looked like a onesie, to tell you the truth.
And it showed her beautiful
but it was like loose fitting and just her
butt was sticking out.
Butt cheeks, just, you could...
Women have butts. Good, beautiful butts.
They do. That's funny, actually, that we're talking about the butts, and I brought that up because I was saying the other day to one of my friends, I was like, I think I've realized why sometimes I have a problem, problems approaching women, and he's like, why? I'm like, because it's much easier when, I have to see them from the back first, I got to, approach from the back.
Yeah, men always check out the butt. It's just so funny to watch them walk by.
When we were, men were young, this was another point that he brought up. He's like, yeah, they were, fascinated with boobs. I'm like, yeah, because they were new. But now it's all about the butts.
Yeah, I wonder why men are so fascinated with boobs. Is it because they were breastfed? I don't know. It's just it's a way to attract them, but I don't know what it is about a boob because it's there to feed the baby.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Mina, you tell me why. It's a sexual.
Yes,
thing.
Yeah, it is sexual. Yeah. I don't know. I like butts. I'm not a big boob guy, so I don't care. I mean. Honestly, when it comes down to it, you gotta have a nice butt. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right, so I love big butts.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
And this entire week, the weather's been great. So great butt watching weather. Cannot beat it.
Well, you can probably beat it.
We can beat it.
You can.
Wednesday, we had a bunch of guests in studio. Not in studio, on the phone. Mark Levin, the great one, Mark Levin, has got a new book.
I absolutely love that man. He has been the sweetest dude since I met him about 19 years ago. Sweet guy, and yes, he has this new book on freedom of the press, and before it even came out, number one.
On Amazon, surpassed Stern.
Yes,
not only is he a sweet guy, he is extremely knowledgeable and intelligent,
He's
man.
So smart.
Constitutional lawyer, and 6 to 9 on WABC, and across the country every single day. Mark
That's
Levin.
right.
So he was awesome, came on, and as it is always, as I pointed out to Sid, he does a fantastic job, and you did too, introing the guests, and they always say
he's the best intro guy that we have at this station, and all of the guests always say, wow, with that introduction, I should hire you.
Or take you on tour. Hire you, yeah.
And he did a great job. All of our guests on Wednesday said the same thing. Senator Tom Cotton,
Jim Sciutto
from CNN,
Mark said it. Mark came out. Well, was it the intro? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And to give Bernie credit too, Mark, right off the bat, Bernie had said something. He was like, wow, you really read the book?
Yeah.
He was like, and Bernie does read all the books. So.
He's smart.
Yeah. Also kind of funny in the newsroom, I guess, before the show on Wednesday, Sid will ask from time to time, how's your penis? To the males. And he asked it to the intern, John, and Deb Valentine, our news lady, was there.
Our straight-laced news lady.
Yeah, and she was like, Sid, why don't you ever ask me about my vagina? And I thought that was a little funny.
He brought that up on the air.
Brought it up on the air.
Yeah, and then also we had Ice Cube on, followed right after Mark Levin. So funny, the guest that we have.
I mean, there's no other show has the range that we have. No. Joseph Abud, who was in, always says that.
Joseph Abud.
He always says that. We have range, and that's why he advertises with us. Sid went up to Joseph's store, I guess, and met Kenan Thompson on Wednesday from SNL.
Yeah, Sid also talked about the fact that he goes, is it weird that I wear a shirt with my face and name on it to try to get attention at the gym and everywhere? And Bernie's like, well, yeah, you have issues. I mean, the fact that Sid even brings it up and he's not embarrassed by it.
No, I mean, that's to his credit. I mean, at least he has. I mean, at least he has some idea. So he's aware of what he's doing.
I don't think any other person in on the radio or in TV. I don't think anyone else. I've never seen anyone else do that.
No. What, wear the shirt or
wear a shirt with their own face and name.
Yeah.
And walk around the city just trying to get noticed.
Sid is one of a kind, to say the least. We also, what did we get into? Oh, the golf outing we talked about. It was Mike Breen's birthday on Wednesday.
Yes, It was his birthday, and we all pretty much decided that we don't need celebrities at the golf outing. Just having us four there is enough.
Yeah, we are the celebrities.
And people really just want to come to play golf. If they're spending $250 a pop, they just want to play golf.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, feed me.
Yeah,
drink beer and
let me hit my balls.
Let me hit my balls.
Yeah.
So, Game of Thrones, Sid was
he was
ticked off about because they get so much attention. Yada yada.
And he's not into it.
I'm not into it either.
I'm not into it either.
Right?
Then listen, we were all into Sopranos. You're probably too young, but so. I don't know how he would feel if the Post covered The Sopranos the same way they're covering Thrones. Would he be as angry? Maybe they did. I don't remember. But I think it's because he doesn't watch it. But I guess it's a phenomenon. I don't know. I don't watch it. And my husband watches it.
Your husband watches it?
Yeah, he watched it.
See, I know. So it's based off the books written by George R. Martin.
Yeah, I don't know.
From what I understand, the viewers were mad about the finale because it didn't follow along with the book or something. I don't know.
I have no idea. I mean, people were pissed at the Sopranos ending as well.
And Seinfeld too. We brought up. Yeah,
I actually liked the Sopranos ending when it went black. I was like, wow, that was cool, and everyone was like, that sucked. But to each his own. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It's the creative space.
Yeah.
Let whoever is the producing it or
it's in the eye of the beholder.
Be creative.
Right.
Yeah. What else? What the hell else? Oh, Curtis Sliwa. I mean, this is unbelievable. His ex-wife is marrying his ex-radio partner, I believe. Right?
Yes, his first ex-wife, Mary. No. Actually, that was his second ex-wife. His first ex-wife was Lisa. So his second ex-wife is marrying his old radio partner, Governor David Patterson, former governor.
Who's blind, partially blind.
Right. So Bernie said, love is blind.
It is.
It was very funny.
And
they're actually suing Curtis. They live in Curtis's old apartment, and they're suing him.
Curtis is one of the most interesting characters.
He's a character.
He really is. We were talking earlier about the Crunchberries and him bringing in the Captain Crunch. The emails we get from Curtis Sliwa at times is... and the funny thing is, I think I've talked about this before with you, is that there have been times where Curtis will send you like 5 emails, and then the next day be like, I need help sending this email. Christ.
I remember working for him. He would have me send emails all the time after the show. Get this clip, send this to Bernie for Imus, and I'm just like, Curtis, they don't care. Yeah. He's a character.
But we also talked about the Guardian Angels and how they, prevent crimes, and that's why we don't really hear about this. That they nip it in the butt before.
Yes,
it in the bud before it becomes a crime.
We were wondering if they would have been able to help that poor dude that got his ass beat on the subway. There's a video that the NYPD just released, and this poor kid is getting kicked and beaten. I actually couldn't even watch the whole video. It's so sad.
Pummeled. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Guardian Angels. Their presence alone, it has been decided, would have stopped that, and they would have stepped in.
Yeah. And traveling tip.
And nobody stepped in to help this kid.
There's a kid videoing them, right? There's the one kid videotaping
part
them,
of
and then
the beaters.
What
is
really
wrong
terrible.
with people?
Train subway tip, as I tell Jill from time to time, is sit with the conductors.
Yeah.
And if anything does happen, you could have somebody close to you.
Well, are there conductors set on a certain car on the subway?
Yeah, so you have one right in the middle who handles all the announcements and closing and opening the doors. And then the one in the front.
I've actually never seen one because I rarely take the subway. So there are, okay.
In the middle, right in the middle, in every car, there's
Smart.
2 conductors, yeah.
The time you come in, you should definitely
You
do
too,
that.
yeah. I know we talked about you don't want to sit in the front of the train because if it crashes, I hear you on that.
So Long Island Railroad is different though because the conductor walks, once he checks your ticket, he leaves and goes to the next car. So it's different than the subway.
Yeah.
But I sit in a car with a bunch of people amongst all the Long Island Railroad.
Do you have regulars?
Yeah.
You have regulars? Yeah, me too. I have regulars in the morning. There's one guy, there's these 3 ladies that all sit together.
Yeah.
Interesting time. So, that was Wednesday. And then we moved to Thursday, which was the last day of the week for Bernard
and
Sydney and Miss Flipper over here.
Yes.
Because they have off on Friday, Russ Salzberg's filling it. And because they deserve it. And a nice 4-day Memorial Day weekend for you.
You should just take off.
I have Monday off. It's fine. And I like working with Russ. Russ is fun to do.
Yeah,
I get some airtime and a little back and forth. Yeah, Russ is good.
So we started out talking about. We started
Platoon.
Yeah, Platoon. I actually never saw that movie, but it's Sid's favorite war movie. So we started out. He said that's when Charlie Sheen was talented.
Yes.
And we went on to play some cuts from Bernie's favorite, Full Metal Jacket.
For Memorial Day, we were going through war movies.
Yeah, and Full Metal Jacket, the opening scene is the movie. What's his name? Arlie something.
The sergeant?
The drill sergeant. The actual real drill
sergeant. Oh, yes,
sergeant.
the actual, yes.
Yeah. Arlie Ermey.
Arlie Ermey passed away. Rest in peace. Rest in power.
Yeah, rip.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. All in the Family and the Jeffersons came back for one night and did it live.
That was Wednesday night. I actually watched it and I thought it was pretty funny.
I watched little bits and pieces of it and I thought it was pretty funny too. And I like how they did it. They brought them together and did it.
Yeah, I love the crossover effect. I thought Marissa Tomei was a little stronger than Woody Harrelson's portrayal. Nobody could do Archie. Nobody could do Edith either, but she did pretty damn good. She was pretty good. And what's his name with the
Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx did great with George Jefferson.
Yes, he did. That was fun. We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, Sid was pissed off that they're actually trying to do a redo of All in the Family.
Don't mess with the classics, he says.
Yeah,
leave them alone.
He's kind of right. Like there could never be another All in the Family. It's just Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton. They're Archie and Edith. Don't try to redo them. But I still thought it was pretty funny.
I thought it was cool and it went over well, and especially how it was written back then, and
Norman
the
Lear, God, he's 96. Remember, he was in studio with us
with Bernie,
and I love him, and what a genius.
God bless.
Yeah.
Big thing on Thursday, Sid's dilemma, whether he should go to the Israeli Day Parade anymore, because apparently there's a New Jersey man that was arrested who said that he wants to join Hamas and blow up the Jews and
Why
Trump
are there still
Tower.
people here that want to do this? Like, why can't we find all of them and just get them out?
Yeah, well, that's the thing,
Or just get rid of them somehow, dispose.
Right. I know. But this is the land of the free, and unfortunately...
Seal the borders.
Yeah. Build that wall, I guess.
Build the wall. So Sid is afraid to be on the Israeli Day float now because he's a target and he's scared to die, but we all tried to convince him to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I still think he should do it.
What does that mean? None of us would do it, but we want Sid to go.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be great, and he loves the attention. He'll be on TV, and
maybe they should have a banner that says his name. He can wear a T-shirt that says
with his
name
face on
his
it.
Face, and that sparked his dad to call in from the rehabilitation center, and even Harvey Rosenberg said that he's expecting to see his son on the float, and he'll watch him from the rehab center on television.
I mean, it's an honor. He is the Grand Marshal, right?
He's the Grand
or one of the marshals, I believe.
You can't just dick out on Heshy Augenbaum now. You already accepted, and you have to risk your life. You may be targeted, but you got to do it.
Sid, what?
Yeah, I mean, if you die,
If you die, he dies, right? If he dies, he dies.
Right.
That's what Rocky is at. That was
if he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
Pretty good, Meanie.
Thank you.
Bernie says he should do it.
Yeah, Bernie says he should do it. Oh, we had a caller who had a pretty cool idea. We had to have Joseph Abboud make Sid a bulletproof vest.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that happens.
It'd be stylish. I don't know how functional it would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, Thursday we were just in get out of town mode. We were in vacation mode.
Vacay mode.
There was a lot of stuff going on that day, like you said.
The Trump Pelosi stuff. He feels she's disrespecting him, which she is.
Yeah.
And so there was that.
Bill O'Reilly came on as usual.
Yes, even O'Reilly said that Sid has to go through with being the Grand Marshal. And what else?
Jackie Martling.
Oh, Jackie. Jackie's pretty funny.
He is pretty funny.
He did a bunch of funny jokes, and I think that was it.
That was basically it. We wrapped up the week with the Celebration, the song, because we're happy. We're happy.
But we want people to realize it's not really a happy occasion.
Exactly.
Monday. These people died for us. It actually happened. That's what I told my kids yesterday. And I was quizzing them. Do you know what Memorial Day is about? My 8-year-old got it right. My 16-year-old son got it right. My 15-year-old daughter, I guess it's about memory because the word Memorial Day is in it. And they have, I know that there's sales going on. That's what she said. And I'm like, you are what I was. You are what I was. I'm like, I gotta help this girl.
She got her sights set on different things.
I started telling her, I'm just like, Olivia, people went to war so that we could live free. And she's like, well, why do they have to go to war for that to happen?
So that you could do.
Because I said, not every country has freedom and has rights. She's like, well, that's stupid. And she doesn't realize that other countries like Iraq and Saudi Arabia, women have to cover themselves, and there's not the freedom that we have here. And she just didn't get it. She's like, that's so stupid.
We got to get her to a foreign country or somewhere where she could have like a culture shock and, have that moment of like realization of like, oh, I don't live in this, beautiful world where everything's rainbows and ponies.
At her age, trust me, I thought it also. Like everybody just has the right to just roam and give opinions and curse out the president. I mean, in other countries, if you curse out your president, you're shot on sight.
Or if waking up in the morning for school, like kids don't have the opportunity, one, to wake up in the morning for school. And when they wake up, they're scared. You don't know what the hell you're going to run into that day in other countries.
Yeah, and places like China only has 2 weeks off a year. I always, every summer, I'm just like, you guys have 10 weeks off. China has 2 weeks off. And Olivia's always like, that's stupid.
Well, let's send her to China for a year. We'll get her on
China.
What do they call those?
Airbus?
Abroad? No, study abroad.
Oh, well.
Get her over to China.
My son would like to study abroad, this girl in his school.
Oh! All right.
On that note.
Yeah, that's it. So happy Memorial Day. Peace!